My best friend kept lending his crush money. One night, we saw her spending it on someone else. I watched my best friend Brett transfer another $500 to Mackenzie for emergencies. I couldn't help shaking my head the way I always did when her name popped up on his phone. The transfer went through instantly, and Mackenzie sent back a quick, "Thanks, moi. You know that's like the only time she messages you?" Brett turned to me with that defensive look he always got when he knew I disapproved. "That's not the only time, and she's just stressed about money right now. I'd do the same for you," he said gently. I frowned. He was always like this, too nice for his own good, but it was also one of the reasons I really liked him. I pulled up Mackenzie's Instagram and scrolled through it in front of him. She's stressed about money but spends it on hair and nails every week. Look, she literally just posted about a $40 avocado toast. He shrugged. "It's fine. She'll pay me back one day." But he and I both knew it wasn't true. He was just sitting here giving everything to the most beautiful girl he'd ever met, hoping one day she'd choose him for more than just money. The same way I'd been sitting around watching the guy I'd been in love with since college throw his money at someone who saw him as nothing but a wallet. But Brett seemed determined to finally change things. He mustered up the courage to ask Mackenzie, "Would you like to have dinner together for my birthday? Just the two of us?" Even from across the room, I could hear her voice through his phone. "Oh my god, yes. That sounds perfect. Text me the details, babe." He was glowing when he hung up, the happiest I'd ever seen him, and it hurt. He spent the next 2 days before his birthday getting ready. New hairdo, new suit, a fresh bouquet of flowers along with a beautiful diamond bracelet she'd been eyeing, and of course he made sure to send her extra money to prepare herself too. But the night of his birthday, Brett called me up with the saddest voice I'd heard from him. She canceled. I was at a loss for words. I felt seriously bad for him. "Brett, it's fine. She said we'll reschedule." I took a deep breath. "I'm coming to pick you up. You're not spending your birthday alone. Let's not waste that reservation. And please don't say no. I really like steak." I joked lightly. He laughed into the call. "You're the best. I'll see you." I picked him up from his place wearing the dress I'd been saving for the day I could finally ask him out on a date. His eyes widened the moment he saw him. "Wow, you're beautiful," he breathed. I blushed, thinking tonight was the chance I'd been waiting for. But the rest of the drive, he was quiet, staring at his phone with a disappointed expression. Still, I was hopeful. But suddenly, halfway through dinner, Brett went completely still. I followed his eyes to a corner table. There was Mackenzie in a red dress with some guy who was feeding her oysters while she pulled the same lines she did with Brett. She was using his money to wine and dine someone else on his birthday after canceling on him. "Is that her emergency?" I asked. Brett couldn't answer. He was frozen with the most crushed expression I'd seen. "Brett," I said, reaching for his hand. "Now do you see what I've been trying to tell you?" He pulled away coldly and asked for the check. Back at his apartment, Brett was doing the math on his laptop. $8,750, he said, "in 6 months. So you're done with her, right?" Brett got quiet before giving her another excuse. "But what if she really did have an emergency and that guy was just, are you kidding me right now?" I stood up. "She ditched you on your birthday to use your money to date someone else. You don't understand. When someone like her pays attention to me," I was furious. "I've been paying attention to you since college. I know your mom's birthday and when you're sad without you saying anything. I liked you when you were broke," I said, my voice shaking. "I liked you when you ate ramen for every meal. I'd like you if you lost everything tomorrow. But you're too busy chasing someone who calls you her personal ATM to notice. And I can't keep chasing someone who can't even set up boundaries for himself." My tears fell as I left his house, and I cried even more at home. I stopped talking to him after that, the same way he stopped answering Mackenzie's texts after that night. She only noticed 3 days later when she needed money from him again, but when he still didn't respond, she showed up to his place looking even more gorgeous than what he was used to seeing. "I've been thinking," she said, playing with his collar. "Maybe we should try being more than friends. I mean, I've always felt something between us." "Get out," Brett said. "You ditched me on my birthday to spend my money on another guy." She tried to come up with excuses, but when it didn't work, she rolled her eyes at him. "Whatever. You're boring anyway. Only interesting thing about you is your bank account, and there's plenty of guys like that." That night, he drove over to my place with 2 packets of ramen noodles. "I've been an idiot," he yelled to my closed window, loud enough to wake the neighbors. "Please give me a chance to make things right," and I did.